we're just going to talk a little bit more about unbalanced tension. And then I want to show you the final 3 set moves for the beginners part of the awakening medicine process. So we've very much spoken about how it is that due to and as a result of our experiences in our formative years, and then the coping mechanisms that we put in place, in particular in the sort of structure of the body and our postural alignments, have basically pulled us out of our natural state of strong, sovereign and aligned spiritual being. And so we need to begin to soften and undo through the stretch, and then moving ideally through an impulse. Now, I really, really want to reiterate here the most important aspect of the yoga process is that it is an impulse that's arising within you. So when I say 21 days to be a naked guru, that literally is the quickest amount of time you can do it. And we already touched on that right at the very beginning of the journey, which was to say that that's because it really takes 3 weeks to rid yourself of unhealthy habits and begin to become addicted to, if you like, healthier habits. So 21 days, the minimum time. And the likelihood is it might take you a little bit longer. You know, don't be scared if your body is just really, really indulging in the relaxation aspect of this program. I know I did. And I obviously have gone through many, every day for me is a process and a prayer. And then every now and then I will just come back to phase 1, step 1, soften. And if I choose to do that, then I may well be doing anywhere between 2 and 4 hypnotherapies every day. I've got time off and I'm just choosing to fully drop and what I call disappear. So that may take 7 days, but sometimes I even say to people, don't worry if you choose to do 21 days. You know, actually the very first hypnotherapy program that I ever did was a 21-day program, an app on my phone. And it is absolutely perfect. It's totally ideal, okay? And the beauty of hypnotherapy is that you can find a specific issue for it to work with if you want. Again, another product that I endorse is a website called hypnosisdownloads.com. That's hypnosisdownloads with an S.com. Really the beauty I find in hypnotherapy, what it is that keeps us kind of almost so present that we just drop, is the fact that we don't know what they're going to say next. So once you've actually listened to it several times, you know what's coming next, and then actually, you know, it will be a case of it just doesn't really work for you anymore. But that's because you've probably gotten as much as you can out of it for now. Now that doesn't mean to say that in a month's time or 3 months' time, 6 months or somewhere down the line, that hypnotherapy will come in very helpful for you. Because, you know, the nature of healing and the nature of issues is that it isn't a linear process, and it isn't just a case of, oh, bing, and it's disappeared. No, it's bing, it's an awareness, it's a dropping in, it's a living with that new. I'm going to get even more honest and more real the more that we go on, but I'm just going to be as real as I can be for now. And that's to say that when you're indulging in shadow work, sometimes stuff comes up, and that's really the good stuff. That's the juice, you know, that's the pulp And the goodness, it's really the stuff that a great process is made of. And the more you open and the more you relax, the easier it's going to be to allow what's inside you to be released. And if that's in a sound, it's going to feel incredible. So we have been pulled out of alignment and we want to bring it back to center. All of the exercises that I am describing to you are exercises that balance the body. I just want to recap on the ones that I've shown you so far. The very first one, of course, is grounding. So we have to ground. That's the most important aspect. And if you aren't grounding through the first 7 days, that might be one of the reasons why you're finding it difficult to feel the impulse to want to move into the next parts of these programs. So like I said, it's an impulse. Let it be an impulse that arises within you. So grounding, number 1. Yowing, number 2. Remember, we want to open up C1. That's a good crack. We can look down at the floor. That's really the best in the early stages because it just helps to open up that a little bit deeper. And we've done cross crawl. Okay. So, great. Now we're going to move into 3 more, and I'm just going to talk you through them a little bit as well. Now, as you know, one of the most important aspects in finding how you've gone out of alignment is by first finding your alignment. So we have to first find the alignment. That's one of the reasons why the grounding is so important. Once we find the alignment, we can kind of go, ooh, and this is the thing, is as you drop into the body, you're going to begin to feel again. You used to numb out. You used to choose distractions instead of dropping into the body. It was those distractions like food, like shopping, like sex that keep us from feeling our pain, okay? And that's emotional and mental. In fact, it starts as an emotional, mental pain, and then we hold it in the body, and it eventually begins to pull us out of alignment throughout the course of our years. So that idea of being on a pole is primary in yoga. And so there's a really great exercise. Again, all the set moves are such simple exercises, okay? They're just about opening and softening, but you can add a strengthen. And so we can begin to add a strengthen in these by pulling in the tummy and pulling up Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor. We could even give that a lock with the tongue in the roof of the mouth. We could even hold the breath if we wanted to, and then we can really hold that. We can really work with that, and we do work with that again in the intermediate phase in a significant way. Okay, but at this stage, we just want to really get into this alignment, and we want to then begin to strengthen around it so that we can have these really beautifully soft yet strong ligaments that pull us into a perfect alignment. And that takes decades. Okay, so, like I said, there's no quick fix. And this is the beauty. That means it happens every day. So we're just going to do this exercise of holding the ball of energy. And then we want to move the whole of our body, including the head. So you see that I'm not doing this. Looking forward and moving my body. I'm taking the head with me. Again, we can bounce in the knees if we want to. But I'm taking the head and I'm just going into a twist. Just holding the ball of energy. Okay, like I said, we can pull in the tummy if we wanted. You may push against it with your leg as you push it, as you're going into this hip. You might push the hip against it. That will be giving you some strengthening. Okay, it will also give you a significant stretch in the lower back. So remember, the movement is all about the stretch as well. So really, the way that, for me, that I find a good movement, like I might find, even though that's a set move, okay, I'm going to find a repetition because it is activating something in me personally, okay? And that is what's happening for me now. I told you that I had a little bit of pain in my lower back. Well, like I said, the last couple of days I've been strengthening, and that is significantly reduced now. So the twist, holding the ball of energy, is the third set move. The next set move, again, was an impulse inside me, but a very interesting one, because I remember doing it as a child, and I remember seeing it in young children when they're feeling threatened. Oh, I've just been caught doing something. And just as I'm speaking it to you now, it's making me think of also that thing of when you are caught doing something by the police, what's the first thing that they say to you? Put your hands up over your head. Okay. And this, oh, that was the thing in my knee, is the posture of, it's like a coping mechanism with children. But if we kept doing it, great, because it would keep us so balanced and so aligned. So this one is arms above the head. And what we're doing is we're pulling everything into alignment, but in particular, the diaphragm. Now that is a natural reaction in children because they are aligned, right? So they are aligned, and when they get in trouble, they feel that shock. And what we talked about shock and what it feels like in the body, and it's very much the diaphragm being pulled up. And so, you know, we can spend a long time then as adults really trying to soften and release that diaphragm muscle. You know, we need to keep it open. And as children, we know that. It's incredible, right? This is the posture. And then with that, there are so many variations, and we can do variations with that. Like, for instance, I'll show you another variation of the other set move that we learned, which was cross crawl. Okay, so we can do cross crawl in this posture. We can also do the next posture that I'm going to show you, which is like a crunching in the hips, in the waist. Okay, and we can just do that with the hands down as well. It's similar to the yo, but it really is just much more about the, you know, creating the stretch in the waist and encouraging, you know, a little bit of a waist as well. The release and the let go. Okay, I want to just open and soften and really be in my flow. And that's what I really sort of dedicate my time to then, is the softening aspect. But, you know, everyone's different. That's what I'm saying. There's no right or wrong way to be yoga, okay? And so if it makes sense to you to go more into the strengthening, then that's for you, okay?